Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be changing this power steering pump on a 2006 Acura MDX. Let's get into today's video. Alright, first things first, you're going to need a few things. You're going to need a small ratchet with a 10mm socket. You're going to need a 3/8 ratchet, I believe that's what this is, at least the bigger size to the smaller one, with a 19mm socket. You're going to need a 12mm socket and a 14mm socket. Now, first of all, what I'm about to show you is definitely a disclaimer. Do not do this on your vehicle. If you have a vice to that after you put the pulley on, take the pump out, that you can put it in a vise and remove the pulley. I just jammed something between the pulley and the engine lift point, and that stopped the pulley from moving. And then I took the 19, put it on the nut, and broke it free. So my own is already free. And what I'm going to do now is remove this bar, remove the nut, and then loosen the tension on the belt, and we will get to our next step. Okay, instead of using the 14mm socket on the ratchet to break free the tensioner or to loose it, I use a 9/16 wrench for clearance, and I'm going to be using a bigger wrench to add leverage to it. So I'm gonna set it up. I am going to loosen, see if I can get you guys a shot of that. That right there is the, let me see if I can get down in there. That right there is the tensioner. I'm going to lose tension on it, and we're going to remove the belt, and then we will be taking off the high pressure hose for the power steering pump. Alright, now that we have removed tension from the belt, you don't want to completely unroute this because it's going to be a pain to route it again. So you just want to take it and push it to the side where the computer sits, and that way it pretty much stays on all the other pulleys. Now this pulley was pressed on, but once you get the pump off, it should be able to just tap from the back and get it off. Now we will be taking our 10mm socket and breaking free those two top bolts from the high pressure line. A bit difficult to do with one hand. I got it. Just gonna loosen it up nice and evenly. There is an O-ring in here that you will have to replace. You only could use the O-ring one time, and usually this is the problem with a lot of other Acuras with this 3.0 or 3.5 motor, is that this O-ring goes bad and it starts to let air get in. So I'm going to remove this. I should have had like a rag or something, but I'll have to put the camera down. It's a two-hand job to remove this hose, and then when I come back we will be removing this low pressure hose, and then we will be taking off the bolts for that actually holds on the power steering pump. All right, now that the top hose is off and out the way, I just flipped it back up underneath here so that it'll hold it whilst I'm working on the other line. And I just want to take a pair of pliers, squeeze this, bring it back, and that should be it. Now you should be able to just wiggle this line free up. Made a big mess out of that. So I am going to put this line up somewhere where it won't drain, hopefully. And you should probably have a rag close by or underneath this when you do that. Sorry with the camera working with one hand. So yeah, lower hose, low pressure side is off, high pressure is off. Now we're gonna take the bolts out that hold it to the motor. Okay, so you're gonna take your 12mm socket and you're gonna start with your first bolt that is back here, right off of the pulley. I'll try to break it free with one hand. It's a bit tough. There we go. All right, so now that one is broken free. All right, well, let's do the other bolt. That is, see if I can get a good sight of it. It's a bit difficult to get to. Alright. Right underneath the pulley. Got that one free. So I'm now gonna take those bolts out and show you how to take the pulley off. Alright, so come to find out there's actually only 2 bolts, one here and one underneath, and then you remove the pulley up, and I took that out pretty bad. I spilled a lot of fluid, so I'm gonna rest this down and clean up my mess, and then I'll show you guys how to remove that pulley. Alright, so what you want to do is first flip this pulley over, and you want to give it some gentle taps. Doesn't matter if it's held down or not, it's just a spline that you're freeing it from, and then you should be able to just lift the pump right off of the pulley, just like that. So reinstalling is the same way. You just tap it on very gently and you can reinstall your pump. Alright, when reinstalling the pulley, it does have a flush side that the nut's gonna go on, and then it has like a little piece that grabs the spline on the pump. You want that flush side up away from the pump, and you want the piece that pokes out to go down onto it. So you just rest it right on, and that's it. After that, you just tighten down your nut on top of it, which we will do now. Just want to hand tighten it. Alright, and what you want to do now to stop this from spinning is right where this mount piece is, you want to just stop it. Put this right here, take your ratchet and your 19mm socket and keep spinning it, and then just tighten it down, and that's it. Pulley's installed and ready to go back on the motor. Alrighty, now that the pump is secured in place, we will remove the cap from the high pressure side. It's just a little oiled cap. And now the part that I'm gonna do my best to show you guys is changing this O-ring that sits on the high pressure side. You can see that someone tried to use 2 O-rings, I guess, to seal up this old pump from making noise. But I bought the proper O-ring, and I am going to take these off and put on the right one, and then we're going to be installing the low pressure hose. Alrighty, so I used the flathead screwdriver and I removed this worn out O-ring. I have a new one right here that I'm going to be putting on. Just give you guys a good look at that. And it's that easy. Now we're just gonna sit it in place, push on it a bit, get it down as snug as you can. Then you wanna take the mounting bolts for this high pressure line and snug them up. The reason why we're not just going to be tightening down one side is because you need that O-ring to seat properly. So take your 10mm and you come down on one side, come down on the other, and you just repeat this process until it's completely down flush. Getting the bolts nice and snug. Don't want to overdo it and strip them. Oh, crack the line. But you do want them nice and airtight. Alright, now before putting on the low pressure hose, I'm going to take this cap off and I'm going to pour just a bit of power steering fluid inside the pump until I see it coming out, just to make sure that there's some in there and it won't start dry. Just remove the cap. I'm going to put this to the side. I'm going to get some power steering fluid. We'll see how best I can get it in there. Probably would have been better with a funnel, but I'm just going to put a rag underneath it. So we got that rag in place. And now I'm doing my best to get power steering in it. Alright, it's already rimming over. There we go. That's all I really want in it. I just want the pump to not be dry. Now we can put the line back on, remove the rag, gonna throw the line back on, and that's it. Put your clamp back in place. Apply this. Now, it's not going anywhere. Now, that's it. Power steering pump is installed. Now it's time to put the belt back on, fill up the reservoir, and start it up. All right, reservoir is full. Belt is back on the pulley and under tension. Both lines are on. Now, what you would want to do is jack up the front of the Jeep. Let me get my keys out. I didn't jack mine up because I pre-primed the pump, but you would just want to put your key in, turn it all the way forward to unlock it, and turn from lock to lock a few times. I'm just going to start mine up. That should be it. Now the pump is already whining. We're going to go see if I need to put more fluid in it. See if I can get you guys a good look at this. It definitely needed more fluid. It's on the low mark, so I'm gonna add fluid to it now, put it back to the high mark, and then start it back up. All right, so it made a bit of noise. I just turned it off because I'm sitting in grass. It's easy for me to maneuver the wheel left and right. I turned it to lock a few times, left and right, and now absolutely no more power steering noise, none whatsoever. Let me show you under the hood. No more power steering whine. Beautiful. And that's it. That's how you change your power steering pump on a 2006 Acura MDX. Alright guys, and that's it. That is how you change a power steering pump on a 2006 Acura MDX. If this video helped you in any kind of way, guys, please hit that like button. If you like these type of videos, or if you want to check out a few more videos on my channel, make sure to subscribe, turn on that notification bell so you don't miss any new uploads. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you guys on the next one.